What he said, the Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. Whoever heard this? How many preachers tell us that the Lord is a man of war? See, we don't know that. So, and these trumpets are announcing this war that the Lord is going to embark on in these last days. It's very important. Let's go to Joshua 6. Let's see how he did it in these days. But we know the Lord is a man of war. Joshua 6. Joshua 6. And we're going to pick it up at verse 1. See, when the Lord showed Israel how to take over Jericho in these days, but we think that was something just for back then. It's going to happen the exact same way. The title of this 3-part series is The 7 Trumpets to Armageddon. Joshua 6:1. Go ahead.
Now Jericho was straitly shut up because of the children of Israel. None went out and none came in. And the Lord said unto Joshua, See, I have given into thine hand Jericho, and the king thereof, and the mighty men of valor.
See, because the Lord is a man of war. He told Joshua, don't even worry about it. I have given into your hand Jericho, all the mighty men. See, Jericho had mighty men. Not only that, they had a great and high wall. They had a wall that nobody could penetrate. He told Joshua, don't worry about it. It's under control. Go ahead, verse 3.
And ye shall compass the city, all ye men of war, and go round about the city once. Thus shalt thou do 6 days.
See, Israel had men of war. But see, the Lord was going to show them how to fight because he's a man of war, right?
That's right.
So he said, this is what I want you to do. See, all that Israel had to do, people say, well, see, they had to do works in those days. All we got to do is have faith. Look, all this was faith. Because the Lord going to take care of it for them. They didn't have to be expert marksmen to take down Jericho. They had to have faith in God's plan. And that's what you need now. That's why we celebrate the memorial of the blowing of the trumpets, because we know that's showing you God's plan. They had to celebrate it. They had to acknowledge his will. So he told them, the men of war go around about the city for 6 days. Remember, everything completes in 7. That's why you got the 7-day Sabbath. That's why you got 7 trumpets. Gonna blow in the end. We're gonna see that. Go ahead. Verse 4.
And 7 priests shall bear before the ark 7 trumpets of ram horns. And the 7th day ye shall compass the city 7 times. And the priest shall blow with the trumpets.
Oh, that's a whole lot of 7s, is it?
Yes, sir.
You got 7 priests. They gonna bear before the ark 7 trumpets. That's the 7 trumpets. See, it started way back here, but it's gonna climax in Revelation. See, we think the trumpet's done with, or we think Gabriel gonna blow a horn. Don't have nothing to do with Gabriel, but he do got some angels that's gonna blow. Because he's going to use something bigger than priests for the conquering the whole world. He's going to use angels. So he says 7 priests going to bear before the ark 7 trumpets. And on the 7th day, you're going to compass the city 7 times. And then the priest going to blow. Go ahead, verse 5.
And it shall come to pass that when they make a long blast with the ram's horn, and when ye hear the sound of the trumpet, all the people shall shout with a great shout, and the wall of the city shall fall down flat.
Oh, go ahead.
And the people shall ascend up, every man straight before him.
Oh, you heard it's not over to the shouting? Well, that's what's going to have to take. That's the final thing. It's going to be a great shout. But it could not take place until the 7th day. They had to wait all the way to the 7th day. They go around each day one time. For 6 days. On the 7th day, the 7 priests, they went around 7 times and they blew the 7 trumpets. And that's when the wall was going to fall down. And it's going to be a great shout. Keep all that in mind. Stay with us for these 3 weeks because it's going to all come together at Armageddon. Go ahead, verse 6.
And Joshua the son of Nun called the priests and said unto them, Take up the ark of the covenant, and let 7 priests bear 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark of the Lord.
Okay, now Joshua got to doing what the Lord said. You know why? Because he had faith. See, this wasn't some minor work that they had to do. This was simply faith in God's plan. That's all it takes, brother. That's why we got faith and we celebrate like he told us the memorial of the blowing of the trumpet, because we know how important it is. We know it has great meaning, even down our days. Skip down to verse 12 and go ahead.
And Joshua rose early in the morning.
Now, this is the last day. They did it 6 days. Go ahead.
And the priests took up the ark of the Lord. And 7 priests bearing 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark of the Lord went on continually and blew the trumpets, and armed men went before them. And the rearward came after the ark of the Lord, the priests going on and blowing with the trumpets.
Go ahead.
And the second day they compassed the city once and returned into the camp. So they did 6 days.
Go ahead.
And it came to pass on the seventh day that they rose early about dawning of the day and compassed the city after the same manner 7 times.
Oh, now this is the final. This is the conclusion. The seventh day, the 7 priests with 7 horns, trumpets, they compassed the city 7 times. Go ahead.
Only on that day they compassed the city 7 times.
Only on that day. Go ahead, verse 16. And what happened?
And it came to pass the 7th time when the priests blew the trumpets, Joshua said unto the people, shout, for the Lord hath given you the city.
See, that's what took place, brothers and sisters. There wasn't no rapture. Didn't nobody get taken off nowhere. See, if you understand this, you know what's going to happen in the end, in the last days. The exact same thing. You just read in Joshua a preview of how the Lord is going to take over the world. Except it's not going to be 7 priests, it's going to be 7 angels, and he's going to knock down the walls of the world instead of just Jericho. You just saw it. So that's what happened. He said on the 7th time, the 7 priests blew with the trumpets. Joshua says, shout, for the Lord hath given you the city. Skip down to verse 20 and see what happens.